Hello, and welcome to episode 14 of the Rise Fitness and Nutrition Podcast. I am your host, Carlo. Where is your hunger coming from, and what happens when you're physically hungry? Is it hunger just physical, or can it be emotional? How can I understand how to manage hunger? Why does my stomach growl when I'm hungry? These and other questions will be answered today. Have a nice listening. It's no surprise to know that hunger is the signal that your body uses to tell you that it's time to refill the tank as you're running out of energy, right? You see, your body is designed to stay in a situation of homeostasis, or, to simply say, in a situation of equilibrium or balance. So when energy decreases, it wants it to go up. And when energy is in surplus, it won't ask for extras. Keep this in mind for now, as it is the key concept to understand hunger. Let's say you had breakfast at 7 a.m. and now it's around 11:45 a.m. and therefore lunchtime is approaching. What is going on inside of you that leads to the fact that you start to feel the hunger signals even before knowing it's lunchtime? There are two hormones that are the main players when it comes to the physical desire to eat: ghrelin and leptin, being respectively the hunger activator and the suppressor. Let's have a look at them a bit more in detail. Ghrelin is the hormone that increases hunger, and it's mainly secreted in the stomach lining. Leptin, on the other hand, is the hormone that decreases hunger, and it's mainly secreted in fat cells, and they both work on our brain, specifically the hypothalamus, to send either hunger or satiety signals. On a very simplified view, if leptin comes from fat, the more body fat you have, the less you should feel hungry, and, as a consequence, you should feel hungrier if you have less fat. So, theoretically speaking, if you're overweight, it could be easier for you to start a weight loss path, as your body should already feel less hungry. Hold on, there's a catch here. These two hormones and their related signals' effectiveness can decrease in situation of obesity. Facts about hunger. How long can you survive without food and water? An article in Archiv für Kriminologie, you will find the link in the podcast description, states that the body can survive for 8 to 21 days without food and water, and up to 2 months if there's access to an adequate food intake. Wow, I didn't know that. Back to the topic. So what happens if ghrelin and leptin activity is messed up? If you have excessive body fat, you might think that you have enough leptin and therefore shouldn't be that hungry, right? Well, unfortunately, you can develop leptin resistance. Despite your body being full of leptin, your brain doesn't listen to its signal. Therefore, your hunger stimulus doesn't decrease. Hence, you spiral in overeating, increasing weight, reduced leptin efficacy, more hunger, more food, more fat. Now, this is not to say that if you have extra kilos on your body, you might be straight away leptin resistant, but just keep that in mind that developing such a thing is possible. Ghrelin, on the other hand, is the one friend that gets hungry all of a sudden in your circle of friends. It's the, hey man, I'm hungry. Are we going to eat soon? Type of hormone that signals your brain it's time to eat in the short term, and is produced by your empty stomach, goes into your blood, reaches your hypothalamus, and asks for food. Now look at them considering the big picture. Both hormones in a normal situation take turns talking to your brain and asking for opposite things, either to eat or to have you wait a little longer. And the amazing aspect of this is that this is a type of dance that is constantly going on, and that is what basically homeostasis is. This type of slow dance happens within you normally. When you're hungry, you eat and you stop being hungry for some time. But when you're hungry, are you really hungry? Or are you just hungry? What's the difference here? To put that simply, when your stomach growls, is it because you physiologically need food, or is it more of a random crave coming from the emotional side of hunger? Facts about hunger. Why and how does your stomach growl when you're hungry? This growling has been of interest for so many years that the ancient Greeks came up with the rather interesting name for it, borborygmi, the plural of borborygmus. The etymology of the term relies on the onomatopoeia. It is an attempt to put the rumbling sound into words. Borborygmi actually translates as a rumbling. When food enters your stomach, it then moves into your intestine through a series of noisy, wave-like muscle contractions called peristalsis that push your meal all the way down to its final destination or the exit route of your body. When intestine and stomach are empty, these contractions still make noise, but there is nothing there to muffle them, hence you growl or you have a borborygmi. And I challenge you to say this 3 times in a row as fast as you can. Borborygmi, borborygmi, borborygmi. Damn, that was tough. Alright, back to today's topic. How do you distinguish physical hunger from mental or emotional hunger? There are a few ways to understand where is the hunger coming from that can also greatly help you to figure out what to do in case of borborygmi. If the hunger is physical, it will usually have these features. It builds up during the day. It makes you hungry for food in general, not for something extra specific. It makes you feel full and also satisfied. It is driven by necessity, and it has intentional eating, not just binging or gulping down food. And ultimately, it is patient, and it allows you to reach the meal without driving you out of your mind. On the other hand, if it is mental or emotional, it will have these features instead. It appears suddenly and abruptly. It makes you crave a very specific type of food. It doesn't make you feel full or satisfied, but it keeps you craving more and more. It might give you a sense of guilt after eating and make you regret or feel fat or unhealthy. And lastly, it is impulsive. Whatever you have there in front of you might just end up in your belly. As you see, these 2 types of hunger have quite the opposite type of signals. Understanding them or try to figure out when you are hungry where is it coming from, it might be helpful for you. So keep those in mind. Let's make an experiment then. You're sitting at your desk covered in work and all of a sudden your stomach growls like Godzilla has awakened. Is it real hunger or is it a crave? Let me introduce you the easiest test I know to find it out. The broccoli test. If you're suddenly hungry and crave some treat that might not be ideal for your current nutrition, before jumping in the kitchen and feast on your snacks, breathe and ask yourself this question. If I had a bowl of broccoli here, now, would I eat them instead? If your own reply is something along the line of, nope, I'd rather have a slice of cake instead, chances are you are not really hungry, but just craving. If your answer is more in line of, yeah, I'd have that if I could, then you probably are physically hungry, so it might be okay for you to snack on something. Now, how to deal with the snacking part? I'm going to be honest with you. I love chocolate and cookies, but I also work from home, and I understand that they can be part of my diet. Just not in the quantity my brain craves. So here is what I do for myself and what I recommend you to work on to kind of control the snack impulse. When I'm hungry and I'm craving for some food, usually in the afternoon, I ask myself the same broccoli question, and when the answer is negative and I want some chocolatey snack or a cookie, I perform 5 actions before eating. Number 1, I drink a big glass of water. Number 2, I wait something along the lines of 5 minutes, maybe keep replying to a couple of work emails or messages before I just jump into the kitchen and eat. Number 3, I ask myself a key follow-up question that is, am I still hungry? And do I really need the snack now? If the answer is no, then I simply keep working until work is done, go to the gym and come back home for dinner. But if the answer is yes, then I, number 4, get into my apple bowl. Yup, I always have apples in the kitchen and I recommend you to have some too. Grab one apple, slash it and eat it first. Then when I am done, I ask myself, am I still really hungry? Most of the time the answer is no. And that's it. But in case the answer is still, hell yeah dude, I'm dying, then I move to step 5, which is, I just go, open the drawer with all the snacks, get the snacks I want, eat it, enjoy it, and be done with it. Emotional hunger can be triggered by a multitude of factors, including boredom and stress. Now, knowing this might help you understand what to do next time when the growl is growing. Did an email make you angry? Are you bored? Got nothing to do? Did anything happen that pissed you off, maybe? Ironically, when you're happy, you rarely are emotionally hungry, so think about it. Far from saying that I'm against snacking, I just want to stress the fact that everything can find place in your diet, in moderation, and giving priorities to nutrient-dense foods versus calorie-packed snacks. The first ones are here to help you in the long term, building the body that matches your goal and desires. The others are here to occasionally help you keep your sanity and enjoy the body transformation process, but they're not the base of it. That is the key concept to understand today. But before we go, let me also tell you about a trick that I use on myself here at home to reduce impulsive or uncontrolled snacking. The trick is simple. I put all of my snacks in a specific drawer in the kitchen that requires me to actually want to go there, kneel down, open the drawer, dig to find what I want, and finally have it. So many steps that most of the time make me simply forget about them and go on with my day normally. If you have snacks in plain sight in your house, it might be difficult to say no. So how about you try the same? Store them somewhere where you have to actually go to choose one other than simply have them at arm's length. And trust me, this will make a huge difference. And that's it for today's episode. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed and learned something new. If you like this podcast and you're listening on Apple Podcast, a 5-star review would be greatly appreciated. Any kind of question or anything you'd like to talk to me about, you can reach me on my Instagram at thecarl.fit. Have a great week. Bye bye.